Hi everybody, nice to see you all. Today I would like to give you my review of Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I know a lot of people have already done it, but I'm probably one of the few reviews so far that has actually seen the play as well as read the book. So how this is going to work as following. I'm going to talk first a little bit about generally what I thought about the book and the play. And then I'm going to dive into the plot and tell you what I thought of that. I watched the play on the 11th of August, so I read the script first and then watched the play. I have to say I was extremely excited when it was announced that there would be an 8th Harry Potter book or play. And to be honest, I also want to say here, and I really don't mean to offend anyone, but I've heard people say that they were not excited about it, that they didn't want the story to continue or anything. To be honest, I think you're not a real Harry Potter fan if you don't want this, because we all know that JK Rowling knows much more about the world than we do, and I don't think it's just dragging out the story like E.L. James does with Grey because she's lacking original inspiration for anything, or Stephanie Meyer with her additional book from the point of view of this other vampire that no one actually can remember anymore. I think that these stories that Jo shares with us about the Harry Potter world, they've been there all along. She just lets us in, and I think that's great. So I was really looking forward to it, and I'm also really looking forward to Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them for this new American chapter of the Wizarding World. But that's just from my side, so I was really excited. When the book finally was published, or the script I should say, because it is a script, I went to the bookstore, midnight launch party, the whole programme, and I purchased it. I went home and I immediately started reading, couldn't put it down for until I finished it, so I read all till morning. And I have to admit that when I put it down, the script, I didn't know what to think. I was not sorely disappointed, but I was definitely not exhilarated or blown away either. Didn't have this rush of joy and happiness that I had when I read the other 7 Harry Potter books. And I didn't really have expectations in terms of that I said, oh, I want this and this to happen and this should be in the story. But I was really surprised, I have to say, because I thought it would be rather just an insight into Harry's world now, beyond fighting Voldemort and his son's normal struggle to live with his father's fame and this legacy of being the son of a person who saved the Wizarding World repeatedly. And that encounter that it was really a complete, a real adventure in terms of that they had to fight darkness. And if you've been following Pottermore, you've probably also read the short story that JK Rowling put up there as Rita Skeeter, writing about the Potter and Weasley family. And I thought it would be a bit like this in terms of that you just follow the characters into their normal lives. And it just wasn't like this, and I just didn't know immediately how to cope with that. And I also have to say what slightly disappointed me is that the book really circles around this one character, more or less. It's like Harry's son. And it's also about Harry and his friends, but it's like he is like the major character, Albus. And I was just a bit sad that other characters of the Potter universe, second generation, were not really included. So we didn't hear anything about the other Weasleys, about Bill's and Flora's children, about Percy's children, about all the other ones, all the Weasleys and their lives. They weren't even mentioned. It was like as if they were just weren't there. And I thought that was a bit sad, because I would have liked to hear more about them as well. And yes, so after I read the book, I was not entirely sure what I should make of it. And I was really looking forward even more to seeing the play, because I thought probably this is just, the script it does not really describe very much in detail what is going on, so it's quite scarce with words, and I missed Jo's descriptions of things, but it's not a book, so I think we just have to live with this. I went to see the play, and I have to say it was absolutely amazing. I have never ever seen anything like this. The music was amazing, the actors were amazing, the acting was amazing, and the staging, like the effects, it was beyond incredible. It really was. I was completely blown away. And the magic that I missed in the books, due to a lack of description, was given you with visuals and music, and it was absolutely fantastic. I loved the play. I really did. I mean, of course the story was still the same, but seeing it acted out and seeing it come to life, because I thought the book was, like, the script in book form was lacking depth and complexity of the characters in some ways, and in the play you get that much more. You really grow to like the characters, and because of the actors, they're really good. Okay, so don't get me wrong, I think it was great that they published the script, because many fans, of course, were waiting for it, and not many fans are going to get to see it anytime soon. But I have to say, I'm not sure whether it was the wisest decision to make. I read the book and I was not blown away, and then I watched the play and it was really beyond anything. I felt so exhilarated, and I could feel this tingle coming back that I had when I read the other 7 Harry Potter books. And it was great. So I think the book is just the wrong means of entertainment, just the wrong device, you could say, to transmit this wonderful story. And so I think you have to see it in order to really know whether you like it or not, especially when you were not convinced about the depth or complexity of the characters, or if you missed the descriptive nature of Jo's writing, which I sorely missed when I read it. But in the play, they have this magic with music and acting. The whole staging is just incredible. So to the plot, and here I say spoiler alert, so the story centres around Harry, Ron and Hermione, but primarily around Harry's and Ginny's son Albus and his friend Scorpius, who is Draco Malfoy and Astoria Greengrass's son. So the story is about Albus not really coping well with the legacy of being Harry Potter's son, especially after he's housed in Slytherin. And he just feels like he's like the odd one and he's not the right Potter. Something I can relate to very well, because I'm also a middle child, so I could relate well to Albus. Though I have to say, I think some of his anger was really misplaced and misguided. I felt like really sorry for Harry in between, because I felt like, come on, cut your father some slack. I mean, honestly. But he is a really likable, like, character, and Scorpius was incredible. I mean, he was just amazing. And the boys then find out that the Ministry still has a time turner, which can go much like further years past than the one we know about in Harry Potter 3 and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and they want to go back to save Cedric Diggory, because Amos Diggory, Cedric's father, came to Harry and complained about Cedric being dead because of Harry, so he actually blames Harry, which was a terrible part, because I really felt sorry for Harry. And Albus is like, yeah, you know, it's just always people die for you, and Albus wants to help Amos Diggory get his son back. And I know there was a lot of discussion about the time turner and whether that was a good idea. I mean, I think time travel is always very complicated, and you never know whether everything fits together in the end. But I really liked the idea in the end. You could revisit a lot of old situations where you thought like, oh, I know this, and you could see how little things can change something completely. And I really liked it, I have to say. But I mean, I liked it much more in the play than in the book. There was, however, a part that I have not yet grown to like, and I'm not sure whether I will ever grow to like it, because it really made me cringe. And this is the part of Delphi being Lord Voldemort's daughter. I read it, I was like, what the, you know, insert word, and I really don't like this idea of Voldemort having a daughter together with Bellatrix Lestrange. I think it's very far-fetched, Especially because I think if it had been like an older woman and she would have been fathered by Tom Riddle when he was still Tom Riddle, because we know he was handsome and probably he had some sort of affair. But picturing Voldemort, like, I mean, we were taught over 7 books that he's completely dehumanized, that he is soulless, that he has no interest whatsoever in human relationships and any sort of that. And the idea of him actually having sex with a woman really makes me cringe. And I say thank you for this picture, because I don't think I will ever get it out of my head. And so this was, even in the theatre, I was like, oh no, this part is now coming, and I really don't like it. I really don't like it. I also don't think it was necessary, to be honest. I think if Delphi had been a pure-blood obsessed, Death Eater-ish woman who just was obsessed with Voldemort, that would have sufficed, you know, like someone who's just completely obsessed and wants to get him back. But yeah, I just, that was the only thing that I really don't agree with, because I don't know, I just think it's really far-fetched, and I cannot really picture this in any way, and it completely collides with everything that that I have been taught about Voldemort in the last 7 books. But I have to say, and this is something that I've thought about repeatedly in the past years, I don't think that you as a fan, as like however big a fan you are, have the right to dictate Jo Rowling or generally any author what they should write. I think you can dislike parts, you can decide not to read them anymore or anything. But I thought it was really stupid when I heard stories of people writing letters to Jo saying, oh, please don't kill off this character, otherwise I won't read the books anymore. And I think, like, well, it's her story, you know, it's not yours. So as I said, I don't like the idea of Voldemort having a daughter, but it's Jo's story and I love her. Thank you very much, Jo, for sharing this story with us. And yeah, so that's it. So to sum it up in a sentence is, the script was great in terms of that we learned about the characters, like what they do. There were some parts of it that I thought were very, I wouldn't say boring, but they were not very descriptive. And the play is incredible. Make sure you see it if you're a fan, because it is absolutely amazing. You will come out and not know what to say. Apart from this one plot thing that I didn't like, which was Delphi as Voldemort's daughter, I genuinely enjoyed it, and I really hope that there's more to come, because I will always enjoy reading more about Harry and his friends. And yeah, so now it's just waiting for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I'm really looking forward to this, and thank you for watching this video.